The corporate press has been using this 18th century law as a means of discrediting it. When the great point was made the other day by our super chats, or actually this was yesterday morning on the morning show, murder is codified in law well before the existence of the United States. Are we going to go using a 13th century law or a 3rd century law? Trump thinks that he's going to be able to bar. So you have people who we know are not citizens, we know are criminals. The only concern I have is that Trump be transparent and the administration show a list of the individuals that are deported. That's the due process they deserve. Are you a citizen, yes or no? Here you go, everybody. Here's the bio of the individual, their name, where they come from. They're criminals. They're not citizens. We deport them.
And we have a long history of going to war with organizations that are not governments, right? We just got off the global war of terror. That was going for 20 years. That was often, I don't know what the legal mechanism is, but we were effectively fighting organizations. The very first war in our nation's history was against pirates in the Middle East. So this is the shores of Tripoli. Yep. We had
the song, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Marines.
That was the origins of the Marines. We had an invasion by Pancho Villa around 1900, 1910. So that was an organization that Mexico could not control. He was allegedly not under the control of the Mexican government, but it was treated like a war. So we have a long precedent. This is not something new. Mm-hmm. You can go to war against organizations that are not formally governments, just like you can go to war against governments.
Now, Ian, we can have a conversation if Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi arrest a bunch of Antifa because they're domestic terrorists and Trump tries to deport them to El Salvador. Then we're going to have a conversation.
Because they're citizens.
Because they're citizens and they should be in an American prison with American due process, American citizens, and all the Constitution affords them, even if they're disgusting criminals who are committing acts of terror. I don't believe that is a reality. Like the idea that they're going to catch one of these morbidly obese guys, you know, in all black at a Tesla dealership and then be like, to El Salvador with ye, I really don't see happening. But I will absolutely call out the administration. Should they do that, you have my word.
Yeah, or the next administration, if they're like, all right, because of the Patriot Act, the president has such authority now since the Patriot Act to be like, this group's bad. This group's a terrorist organization. I don't know who can challenge the president from declaring that. Is there someone? I don't know enough about that.
I'm pretty sure literally anyone in the United States could file a lawsuit challenging that declaration. Presumably, if you're going to have standing, it's going to be some association with the group. So if Trump came out and said the Proud Boys are terrorists, they could file a suit and say it's an improper designation. In fact, I'm not actually sure there is an official domestic terror designation for any American groups because of the First Amendment. Labeling foreign groups terrorist organizations is because they're specifically not American. So they do not, as foreign entities, they are not subject to the rights of the Constitution. When they enter this country, they are now invaders and they are not subject to the rights in the same way. If you are an illegal immigrant who entered for, like, you came in for economic reasons, you're going to get granted a decent amount of constitutional rights. I know a lot of people on the right don't like that, but that's true. And the protection is for you, not the illegal immigrant. To prevent the government from arresting, searching, and seizing American citizens, it's going to apply to any human body. However, if you were a known Tren de Aragua member and they're investigating you, they're going to arrest you, put you on a plane, and send you out, and they're going to say, we did. And in fact, there's a ruling in 1948, this has gone viral, that already set the court precedent that deportations under the Alien Enemies Act do not require judicial review.
Correct. Saying
that judges have neither, what did it say? Neither the jurisdiction nor the competence or something like that effect.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Could you imagine? I mean, I don't want to go too far into this because we are going to talk about it later. A scenario where with all these people, I said, imagine this. Donald Trump tells Israel, we are going to cut military funding and aid and pull our personnel unless you stop bombing Gaza. And Israel says, no, we're going to keep doing it. So Trump says, fine. I order all U.S. military assets onto planes to fly back to the United States. We are cutting Israel off. And then a single district court judge bangs the gavel and says, no, do not do that. Send all the military equipment and funding back to Israel. These people would be apoplectic. So these Israel critical individuals.
It's like
on the left.
Times of war, times of invasion. And these words are like, obviously, we haven't been at war since World War II. We haven't officially been at war. So that's off the books. Invasion. And now, like, do you consider it an invasion? And some judges are like, no. And some are like, yes.
That's always how it's been. The judiciary interprets.
And so you get these judges that are like, it wasn't an invasion, therefore these people cannot be deported.
And that's the point of the Supreme Court. So the issue is the president has the authority as it pertains to law enforcement, and the law says he can do this. It's insanity that anyone would be arguing that a single district court, a lower court, could order the president stop international negotiations. That's what happened. Trump negotiated with El Salvador to hold known criminals, and they agreed. A plane was transporting the criminals to El Salvador, and a judge said, turn it around. That's laughably psychotic. You cannot tell the president to cancel his negotiations with world leaders. Because again, I'll give you another scenario. Trump is talking to Putin and says, we want to end the war in Ukraine. And Putin says, I know you have special forces and weapons coming into Ukraine. And then Trump says, okay, we will pull our special forces, end the funding, and the war is over. And Putin shakes his hand and then pops up CBS News, and they say a lower court judge banged the gavel and said, no, we're going to keep funding the Ukrainians. Putin would be like, why am I wasting my time talking to a man who can't make a deal? Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.